Hello everyone, so I put together this video of building running boards for my pickup truck. Now this isn't the typical video type that I've been making. I've been making videos on converting my 2002 MCI bus. But nevertheless, it's still a video that I thought would be kind of fun to make, and so I want to add it to my group of videos. At first I thought, well, maybe I should start a second YouTube channel if I want to have a YouTube channel just for doing other things besides working on the bus. But I really don't plan on necessarily making other videos outside of the bus videos. So I'm just going to add this video here to the bus videos. And partly what it shows is that a person can just think outside the box. And especially if you're converting a bus, you have to be able to think outside the box a little bit, build things the way you want them built. I think the main purpose of people that build buses and do things like that is they like to do things their way. They don't, you know, I can go out and buy an RV, something made out of plastic and styrofoam, or I can build this bus, and it might take me a lot longer to build the bus than what I could purchase an RV. But part of it is the fun in building and being sort of independent and unique. So that's the kind of thing I like to do, and I think a lot of people that build buses, that's exactly what their story is. That's why they like to build buses, whether it be school buses or coach buses or whatever. It's just a lot of fun, and it's a very satisfying thing. So anyway, hope everybody enjoys the videos, and we'll talk to you later. Take care. I've got a 2020 Dodge Ram here that sits about 2 feet off the ground. And so what I'm going to do, instead of purchasing new running boards, I'm going to attempt to build my own. So I was thinking just the other night how nice it would be to have some of that aluminum from like a park bench to build these running boards out of, and I just so happened was able to find just that today at the local junk place. And the problem is the one is wider than the other by about 2 inches, so the length is about right, and these are actually fairly heavy duty. They've got the reinforcement on the back, and this one here actually has even more reinforcement. This is probably what was the seat part of it. So what I plan on doing is I'm probably actually only going to use this one. I'm going to split it in half and use 1/2 on each side of the truck is my plan. And so I still have yet to build some brackets for it that'll bolt to the bottom side of the truck, and for these to actually bolt down too. And so what I plan on doing is picking up a welder from Harbor Freight. I've been looking at some of the reviews on the 125 amp 120 volt welder. They're kind of cheap, and I've had one before though. I had an old Century from years ago, and it was a 110 model, and I was actually able to build quite a few things with it. So I'm going to see what I can do to put something together on that, and I thought it'd be kind of a fun little project here for me. So, and of course I want it to look decent too. It's a new truck, and I don't want to have something that looks real hokey. So, but I'm going to see what I can do to make it look good and make it work good. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Okay, so just to show you what I've done here, I cut this wider piece in half lengthwise, and basically what I end up with as it's upside down here is this web and then this channel, anyway, in the end. So what I'm thinking I can do is, of course, further up in, is put a hole in this web and extend a piece of steel through to where it can bolt in here. It'll extend through the web here and then extend over, and then of course up into the truck. So so with that, it would maintain its strength, and at the same time it would be a clean installation, because by the time it's sitting this way at the truck, you won't see any brackets up underneath here, so they'll be hid up inside. So I've got basically one half of this side, and then what I did here also is I took off this end cap here by just drilling these rivets out, and then pop the end cap off, and I was able to cut that. And then it's just an aluminum end cap. I can just cut it in half or whatever and fasten it back on, so that way it'll trim it out nice. Maybe I'll paint it black or something like that, I don't know. It's aluminum. If you paint it black, I don't know, maybe the paint will start to chip after a while. Maybe I'll just polish it up the way it is and clean it up, make it look nice. So we'll see how the rest of this goes. I'm not sure how it's going to go, building those brackets for underneath, but it'll take a little bit of planning and fabricating. So thanks for watching. Take care. The materials that I put into these running boards I'm going to show everybody here today what materials I used. And the materials basically are materials that came from partly from the bus that I'm converting outside there, and some other materials here. So I'm just going to show you what I used. So this piece here is about a 4-foot long piece of about 4-inch by 1-inch channel iron that came off one of the supports for the wheelchair lift in the bus. And then this piece here is just a 2-inch by 1-inch channel iron, and then this piece here is the piece that I used to extend out for the running boards to actually mount to. So basically the way this came down is I cut this piece into 4 approximately 10 or 11-inch pieces to get, you know, the four supports that I needed for the running boards. And then of course I cleaned the paint off before welding, that kind of a thing. You always want to clean the paint off. You can't weld through paint. So basically, if you can envision this being a 1-foot piece here, this piece here was welded on. I chose to weld it onto one side rather than the other side, or, you know, rather than the middle, I should say. And so basically what that does is the holes that I drilled in this channel where it mounts to the truck, I put the holes on one side here, and then I put the steel on the opposite side, or the extension coming out on the opposite side, so as to minimize the span in between the 2 running boards. And I was able to cut out probably about 5 inches or so out of the span in between by bringing everything inward, closer together. Just that little bit helps. So basically this piece here is about a 11-inch piece or so, welded on to this 11-inch piece of this material, just so happens to be 11 inches or so. And so I welded this on coming out about 11 inches out, and then at the same time I also welded this piece on here, like about right here, well, not the whole thing, but just a 4-inch section of it, welded on like that at an angle, or actually it was upside down the other way. It was this way. I welded that on, that piece there, and then I drilled 2 holes. Well, anyway, I drilled 2 holes in this piece here to bolt onto the pinch point there at the bottom of the truck body. So, and that really is just more of a stabilizer. See, it was more like this, I believe. Anyway, that was more of a stabilizer, or this piece here was. It didn't do a lot structurally for it. Mainly the 2 bolts that are here that mount to the truck, which you'll see later. As the pressure goes downwards from the running boards, it actually pulls on the bolts, and then this upper portion here presses up against the body, and this is really the main structure of it. That extra piece is just more of an extra stabilizer for it. And then of course the piece that comes out is the piece that the running board sat on. So that's basically what the parts consisted of. So I've got the steel parts all painted now, and once that dries, I'll be able to start to assemble the running boards. Okay, so I just want to finish up this project on these running boards that I built for my truck. This is the finished product. I thought it came out pretty good. So they don't stick out too far, maybe about 2 inches beyond the hubcap. Yeah, maybe not even that far, 1.5 inches. But obviously the mirrors themselves stick out further, or is the furthest most point. So they work very well. They're quite solid. You can step on there, step right on in, and I bounced up and down on it pretty good. So this is the other side here. It came out really, really nice. Very pleased with them. So just to show how all this happened underneath. So these are the brackets that I built, one on each side. And these bolts here, these are shoe bolts. They go and they hold that piece of steel angle iron in that I installed on the inside of this. Of course, I primed and painted everything that went inside there just to make it last a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to crawl underneath here. I'm going to show, or see if I can show, how this all looks under here. So let's see if I can put some light on it here. So basically, those two bolts there, they screw into the body of the truck in the threaded inserts that were already on the truck, set up for this kind of a thing. And then I've got two bolts up inside here that mount on the pinch point of the body right there for additional strength. And I put some silicone up in here as well, just to keep water from getting up in there and setting in there. So it should make it last a lot longer. And so basically this is the channel iron that I installed. It came on from my bus over there. That's what held the wheelchair lift in, that bus over there. Anyway, and so this 1.5 inch square tube goes up inside, up underneath here, all the way through the first web and into the second web. And then these screws keep it from sliding back out. And then this is the additional web that I added here. You can see that, those screws there. So I doubled up this outer web, or the inner web I should say, and then the outer web here has the channel iron, or excuse me, the angle iron inside it. So these things are really stout. So anyway, I decided to show all that. Like I said, I was pretty happy with it. They're all the same, and they hold up pretty well. So they're pretty strong. And my brother-in-law weighs about 220 pounds, and he came out and jumped up and down on them out in the middle, and I'll tell you, they just came out really slick. I'm really pleased with it. So anyway, so those are my homemade running boards that I built for my truck. It's not a bus project. Most people see my videos, they see that I work on the bus, which I am working on today, but I haven't really done anything substantial to it yet. So I'll be putting some more videos out on that. But this is just a side project, something that I needed to have, just so I could get in and out of my truck easier, and other people can get in and out too. My wife, she's like 4'11", and she really had a hard time getting in and out of this truck. So that's the video. Appreciate everybody watching, and take care of yourselves. Thank you.